Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunattu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahay. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 1 to 5 of chapter 3. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Jayasi chet karmanaste.
Jayasi chet karmanaste.
Mata buddhir janardana.
Mata buddhir janardana.
Tat kim karmani ghore mam.
Tat kim karmani ghore mam.
Niyojayasi keshava.
Niyojayasi keshava.
Vyamishreneva vakyena.
Vyamishreneva vakyena.
Buddhim mohayasiva me.
Buddhim mohayasiva me.
Tadekam vada nishchitya.
Tadekam vada nishchitya.
Yena shreyohamapnuyam.
Yena shreyohamapnuyam.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Lokesmin dvividha nishtha.
Lokesmin dvividha nishtha.
Pura prokta maya nagha.
Pura prokta maya nagha.
Jnana yogena sankhyanam.
Jnana yogena sankhyanam.
Karma yogena yoginam.
Karma yogena yoginam.
Na karmanam
Na karmanam
Naishkarmyam purushošnute.
Naishkarmyam purushošnute.
न च संन्यसनादेव
न च संन्यसनादेव
सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति
सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति
न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि
न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि
जातु तिष्ठत्यकर्मकृत्
जातु तिष्ठत्यकर्मकृत्
कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म
कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म
सर्वः प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः
सर्वः प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः।
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So we are doing verse number 5 of chapter 3, wherein he says, not even for a moment can anyone in reality remain inactive. All are indeed made to act helplessly, avashaha, by the qualities born of nature. It's such a beautiful verse which is actually educating us about the realities of life, how life is made to happen. We generally don't conform ourselves to the realities of life, and that is where the inner tussle starts happening. The mind always has its own unrealistic expectations. Now, when the realities are set in a particular way, what they call as niyatis, the laws of life, the natural laws of life, now you need to learn them, understand them, accept them fully so that you don't develop unrealistic expectations. And what is very important is you need to learn to make use of these laws to your advantage. See, for example, if you take the law of gravity, now the law of gravity states that every object is attracted to the center of the earth at an acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared. Now when we understand that law properly, then we begin to understand what are the actions which we need to do, which are safe, what are the actions which we need to avoid. For example, we will not go and jump from the top floor of a building because we know that the law of gravity will make us fall down. When we don't have an understanding about that law, then you may develop an unrealistic expectation. If I jump from the top floor, why can't I fly? Supposing a person thinks that way. Now you will laugh at him. You will say, don't try all that. The gravitational law will take you down. So whenever you understand a natural law, what happens is you get into a position of strength with respect to that particular area of your life. Because you gain a lot of clarity. You know what to do and what not to do. You will happily sit on the floor, you will walk, because you know that the gravitational force will work in favor of you. But you will not go and jump from the top floor of a building, because you will know that then the gravitational force will work against you. Actually, it is not that the gravitational force is working against you. You are not using that law properly. You know that the boiling point of water is 100 degrees. So you will use that to your effect, to your advantage. Supposing you have a lot of inflammation of your sinus cavities, and let's say the doctor asks you to do some steaming. Now you boil the water to 100 degrees, and then the steam will start coming, and you are able to use that to your advantage. But you also know that the water will be very hot, so you will not go and touch that. The do's and don'ts automatically are determined by you in the right way when you understand a natural law. This is true with respect to all the laws of nature. For example, if you take the natural laws of health. Now, if you overeat, it has a particular effect. If you eat in the right way, the food gets digested properly, you're able to absorb all the nutrients. Now, if the moment you understand that law, then you will chew the food properly, you will use it to your advantage. Now, in every area there are these natural laws, and so is life made of these spiritual laws. So here he is talking about the laws pertaining to action in this chapter. The entire Karma Yoga is going to deal with all the various laws pertaining to action. And when you understand all these laws, when you accept them, then you will know exactly what to do and what not to do. Much later, in the 18th chapter, when he talks about the tamas, when he divides very many aspects into tamas, rajas and sattva, like he says, what is a tamasic action, rajasic action, sattvic action. Similarly, what is a tamasic intellect? What is a rajasic intellect? What is a sattvic intellect? One of the things which he talks about is a discrimination. He says, a sattvic intellect will know what to do and what to avoid. Whereas a rajasic person is confused, rajasic intellect. What to do, what not to do, it's not too clear. A tamasic intellect is very interesting. He says, whatever you ought to do, you will think that is what you should avoid, and whatever you should avoid, you will think that is what you ought to do. He very beautifully covers that. So what gives the clarity to a sattvic person? What ought to be done and what should not be done, what should be avoided? It is nothing but the deep understanding of the natural spiritual laws of life. When you learn them and when you absorb them, then automatically you get that clarity. I'll be covering about clarity a little more also in the second line. Whereas a tamasic person, he understands the laws in the opposite way, and that is why the intellect mistakes the righteous for the unrighteous and the unrighteous for the righteous. All the wrong things in life, he will think they are good for him. All the good things in life, he will think they are not good for him. Very, very interesting. So chapter by chapter, depending upon what aspect of life he is talking about, he will be dealing with the various laws pertaining to that particular aspect. Here in chapter 3, the theme is Karma Yoga. The yoga of action, reaction, the seeds, the impressions, everything. Karma in its entirety. So when he is dealing with that, he'll be providing with the various karma niyatis. Karma niyati means the laws pertaining to karma. So one such law is what he is giving here. Not even for a moment can anyone in reality remain inactive. Which means, what is the law? The law is that action is the insignia of life, the essence of life. Without action, life cannot continue. Your very birth itself is a product of action. The very creation itself is a direct product of action. So you cannot separate action and life. The more you understand that, the more you absorb the energy behind what he is trying to give, now you will start getting a tremendous clarity in your life. Whenever you try to escape from what you ought to do in life, immediately you will be able to pull back your mind. Because the mind always has this weakness of trying to escape, of trying to run away. Whenever you face a problem, the first reaction is you want to run away. And when it comes to the internal problems, internal turmoil, again you don't want to face what is happening within you. That's why people feel very uncomfortable when they are alone. Many people feel so uncomfortable, no? So supposing you're all alone, now you will always ask for some gadget to entertain yourself. You want your cell phone, you want to watch some program in the TV, or you want a book to read, something. Why? Because deep within you, you're not comfortable just being with yourself. You're afraid to face yourself. In the Yoga Sankirtan Sadhana is designed to help you face yourself. Many people say that when they do the Yoga Sankirtan Sadhana, a lot of hidden thoughts, hidden emotions, hidden memories, all these start coming out. So they ask, they get this question, why is that happening? That's what the sadhana is all about. Because when you face yourself, that is when the real change can happen. When you run away from yourself, no change is possible. One is to run away from the various situations in life. That is one form of escapism. But the next level of escapism is when you try to run away from yourself, from your own mind. That is impossible. Wherever you go, your mind will follow you. You try so many ways. A person who is going through a lot of issues, let us say, with respect to a particular relationship, let's say with his or her partner. Now, he or she feels that if I go on a holiday, then all the stress will go away. So he plans and goes for a holiday. But that is only a temporary shift. The problem still remains. The stress which is there in the deeper layers of your mind, that stress still remains. By escaping, by running away, you don't really achieve anything. You're only postponing the issue. And when you keep on postponing, that causes a deep-rooted fear. So when we talk about this weakness of the mind which wants to escape, it is not only escaping from situations, but the deeper application of that is that tendency to escape from oneself. See, supposing somebody comes and praises you, you feel very happy. Some positive thing about you is being told to you. Now you feel so elated. Supposing someone comes and points out a mistake which you're making. This is what is wrong with you. Now immediately you get affected. Why? Have you ever thought about it? What that person is saying may be true. Why can't you examine that and find out? You will not be able to. The mind feels so uncomfortable to even analyze and see whether that issue or that negativity is there within. Doesn't want to face that situation. But when people come and praise, you're so happy. Sometimes they may attribute something to you when it does not belong to you. Deep within you, you know that what they are saying is not true. They are praising you because they don't know so many things about you. Yet, you feel so elated about it. This is the weakness of the mind. So, this is one of the greatest blocks which a spiritual seeker faces in the path of self-purification, in the path of self-development and self-realization. The yogic approach is very, very powerful and direct. When a master uses the yogic approach, what is he essentially doing? He is basically bringing a mirror and placing it in front of you. So that you can start seeing yourself. And when you see yourself, you will start seeing all your dirt. Now you will have a choice, either to close your eyes, either to move away, or to put an effort to start cleaning that dirt. If you understand the realities of life, the karma niyati, then you will not waste your time in trying to run away from the core issues. It is a real waste of time, because if you run away today, tomorrow you will need to face it. It will come back to you with greater force. That is why when people come for what is called as pariharam, they say, supposing you're facing a particular issue, now they talk about pariharam. Pariharam means something which can mitigate the effect, which can neutralize the negative energy. So various such methods are provided. Do this, do that, go to this particular temple, for example, and do this. Or sometimes they say you wear a particular kind of a ring with a particular stone that will attract a certain kind of energy which will help you to neutralize. So many such practices are given. I'm not getting into the merits or demerits of those practices. But what you need to understand is none of these practices are hitting at the core issue, which is your karmas. It is because of your karmas that you're facing that situation. Now it is only the sadhana, the spiritual practice, which hits at the core issue, which helps you burn up the karmas. If you use other methods and you kind of divert the issue, you may temporarily get a relief. But you will have to face the real issue at some point of time. It could be in this birth, it could be in your next birth also. When you look at life from the standpoint of the soul, this particular birth, death and all has no meaning. That is only the change of your physical body. So the more you try to escape, actually the more deep your problems will become. So as a sadhak, if you want to grow fast, if you want to move towards the state of becoming a sthita prajna, without any blocks, then you need to learn to face everything which is there within you and correct yourself wherever it is required. The karma niyati cannot be ignored. In this chapter, so many laws pertaining to karma is going to be given. And each law is very powerful. When you absorb that energy, that can completely transform you. That's what, as I told you, it is very powerful. It has a potential to transform you. But if you don't have the courage, then you will try to ignore it. You will try to avoid it. Because when you absorb the energy of these laws, when you accept them, now you will have no choice but to change for the better. And a person who does not want to change, who is unwilling to change, will not be able to proceed in this yogic approach. See, the yogic approach is not meant for the masses, because everyone is not ready to go into that depth. See, the yogic approach is not about getting into the depth of the subject. It is about using the material to get into the depth of yourself. If we take the same karma yoga in a superficial way, in a mere intellectual way, now thousands and thousands of people will be able to listen to that. But when we use the yogic approach and start opening up the hidden messages, the sadhana messages, when we start absorbing the karma niyatis, the laws pertaining to karma, then automatically the quantity will reduce. The number of people who can sustain this will start reducing. Because where there is quality, there may not be quantity. Very rare that quality and quantity go together. So if you go to the Himalayas, this yogic approach is given on a one-to-one basis. Why? Because it's so powerful. When you apply yourself every Sunday in these sessions and with a complete open mind, with an innocent mind, if you absorb everything which is thrown at you, now it'll cause a tremendous change within you. It is a natural effect. And believe me, once you get into this process of cleaning up, the very process of cleaning up becomes like a game. It becomes so enjoyable. When you're unwilling to change, the process of self-purification is very painful. Because every time you come in touch with some negativity of yours, you will get disturbed. Your ego gets hurt. Whereas if you are very much willing to change, that itself can happen only if you dissolve your ego to a certain extent and surrender. When you have that kind of an attitude, then this process of self-purification becomes so enjoyable. Every time you come in contact with a negative force within you, now it's a game for you. Let me see who will win, you or me. The Kauravas are also within you. The Pandavas are also within you. The negative forces and the positive forces. The battlefield, which is the context of the Bhagavad Gita, is nothing but the inner battle. For Krishna, it is like a game. Why? Because he has fully accepted all the niyatis of life, all the laws of life. So when you start absorbing these laws, your whole life will become like a game for you. Sometimes you may win, sometimes you may lose, but whether you're winning or losing will not be so important for you, because when you're winning, you will learn something. And when you're losing, you will learn again something. Probably you will learn more when you lose. Life is about learning the lessons. That is what this path of self-purification is all about. It is not about merely boosting your ego and artificially winning or losing externally. There is nothing like winning or losing in spirituality. Once you get into this focus of, I want to learn the lessons of life, I'm going to purify myself. Now there is no question of winning or losing. It is only a question of learning, a continuous process of self-discovery and self-learning. A guru comes into your life to facilitate this process of self-discovery and self-learning. No learning happens from outside. Whatever the guru tells you will not directly change you, but it will go and trigger certain points within you, in the higher bodies, in the wisdom body which you have. And when those points are triggered, now that will give a blast of energy from within. It will make you absorb the energy of this wisdom. And that is when the true transformation happens. But when you don't conform yourself to the karma niyatis. Now you put a block there. When the Guru is trying to give the wisdom and the energy is trying to penetrate, now you yourself will put a block. You are unwilling to change. You are unwilling to face yourself. You want to escape. So the yogic approach is very, very powerful. It's the most direct and powerful process of self-discovery and changing for the better. And when you embrace it with your full heart, instead of causing fear in you, now it will give you immense joy. Just as a sports person, when he finds some opposition, stiff opposition, now he gets more inspired to bring out the best from him. Supposing he were to face an opponent who is not up to his level, now he will not find the match so interesting. Even though he may win the match, he will still find it boring. Externally he would have won, but there is no competition. There is no stuff. A true sports person will love it if the opponent is more challenging. Even if he or she happens to lose that particular match, they will feel happy because they would have grown in the process. That is the spirit of a sadhak. Unless and until you have that spirit, you will not be able to proceed in this yogic approach. So develop a sports person-like attitude in life. When you embrace the karma niyatis, it will make you a sports person. In the sense, it will get you into a spirit of being a sports person. You will look at your whole life as a game. And every experience of life teaches you something. You can either become a better person and evolve, or without learning the lessons you can devolve. Just as match by match a sportsman or a sports woman would go on improving his or her skills. Similarly, with every experience, you can go on improving yourself. That is the true spirit of a sadhak. So, a very powerful karma niyati he has given here. Action is the insignia of life. I am spending a lot of time here. It's not only here, wherever there is going to be a karma niyati which is given out, we'll be spending a lot of time there. It's worth it. It's very easy to just pass by all these things, give you a general explanation, probably tell you a few stories, a few jokes, and make it entertaining for you. You would love it, but that will not really help you in the long run. So action is the insignia of life. No one can ever remain inactive. All are indeed made to act helplessly by the qualities born of nature. Sarvaha. Sarvaha means everyone. There is no one who can escape the karma niyatis of life. A yogi is one who, through his or her sadhana, awakens the inner powers to be able to use these laws, the karma niyatis, to his or her favor. But to bypass the law is not possible. You understand this very carefully. The very aim in spirituality, the very aim of sadhana is to awaken the inner powers so that you will be able to use these natural laws to your advantage and create a life according to what you want. Create a life of positivity, purity, where you grow in life and you also contribute to society and you also reach the ultimate goal of self-realization. By doing sadhana, you cannot bypass the karmic laws. The knife being the same, the knife can be used to harm yourself, or the knife can be used to your advantage. You can use it to cut vegetables and all that, and you can have good food. So sadhana is about learning to use these karmic laws to your advantage. No one can escape them, but a yogi learns to use them very effectively. So sarvaha hi means indeed very, very sure. See, whenever you deal with the natural laws of life, you are extremely sure about it. When it comes to human-made laws, you cannot be sure about it. You can definitely say that the sun will rise. When sun will rise means because of the earth's rotation. But you can definitely say that. Why? Because it's a natural law. Whereas you can't say how a human being is going to behave tomorrow. How will your partner, as soon as you get up in the morning, how will your partner behave? Can you give an answer? You will not be able to. Why others? How will you behave tomorrow? From this extremity to that extremity, a wide range of possibilities are there. What can you be sure about in life? It is only the natural laws. That is why he says, indeed, all are sarvaha. He means indeed. Made to act helplessly. Incidentally, when he uses the word he, which means indeed, it is also a reflection of his clarity, where he is 100% sure about it. I told you, when you understand a law, a natural law, you gain tremendous clarity in that area. You know exactly what to do and what not to do. So there are so many laws pertaining to action, laws pertaining to relationships, laws pertaining to success, laws pertaining to the other areas of your life, health, wealth. The entire world is governed by these laws only. So when you begin to learn these natural laws of life, the higher laws of life which the ancient wisdom is providing you, now you start gaining a tremendous clarity. And the higher form of clarity is called clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is considered as a supernatural power. It's a siddhi power of the yogis. But actually there is nothing unnatural about it. The clairvoyant faculties are very much there within you. Today, that clairvoyant faculty is dormant. Through this wisdom, when you open up the third eye, the eye of the wisdom within you, the jnana chakshu, it happens to a person who sincerely follows the guidance of the Guru and does his or her sadhana. So when the third eye is opened, then clairvoyant faculties automatically start getting awakened. And see, what is clairvoyance? It is nothing but an extension of clarity only, where you get a 360-degree perception about everything, the past, present and future. Everything becomes so clear to you. When you look at a person, you don't look at merely the physical body, but you gain the ability to penetrate and look at the person's energy pattern. And you gain the ability to penetrate and look at the person's karmas, from where that person has come. I'm giving an example. Every yogi has these powers. He may not use them. All these faculties are there within you, but they are all lying dormant because you don't seem to have time, to awaken these things. You're so busy with the non-essentials of life. Right from morning till night, something is there to keep you occupied. See, to keep you occupied in the sense, occupied in certain things and take you away from the inner realities, take you away from what is there within you. That is the sad part. And when you fall a trap to that, just years after years go by without you putting any effort to go within, to do sadhana and open up the tremendous potential which you have. So when he says indeed, it is an indication of a master who has gained tremendous clarity. And not only clarity, it has gone to that extreme point of clairvoyance, where he has a complete understanding of what life is all about. It's like getting an aerial view of the road. Supposing you go to an area, now you're traveling by car, or you're standing on the ground, let us say. You will have a certain amount of clarity, you'll be able to see a few things. But if you go and stand on top of a building, or you're sitting in a helicopter and then you're getting an aerial view of the whole place, that perception is something totally different. You can start seeing things which others cannot see. You're from an aerial point, you're able to see a person who's walking on the road, and there is a pit there in the corner. He is not able to see it, but you can see it from here, and you warn him. You say, don't take that path, it's dangerous for you. Now he wonders, how is it that you're able to see the pit whereas I am not able to see? Simply because you're standing above. It's an aerial view which you're having. So a master can see things in life more than what others can see. Not because he is born with some special quality or anything. No. It is because he has got an aerial view. He has opened up those faculties within himself. And when you also do that, you will be able to unravel the mysteries of life. You will be able to see the past, you will be able to see the present, and you will be able to see the future. That is, future means the consequences of your actions in the future can be clearly seen. See, Lord Krishna, he had that tremendous clarity and clairvoyance, and that is why he went to Duryodhana as a peacemaker on behalf of the Pandavas. He went to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and he said, let's not have this war because thousands and thousands of people will die. He was able to see that, but they were not able to see. And he was also able to see that victory will be there only where dharma is. The Kauravas were not able to see that. He tried to explain it to Duryodhana. He said, Duryodhana, even from a selfish point of view, this war will not be good for you, even if you are looking for your own benefit. But Duryodhana refused to budge. He chose the war. Why? Because he didn't have that clarity. The same Duryodhana, when Karna died, he felt so unhappy and bad that he went and hid himself under a lake. He had mastered that technique, and he was sitting under the lake by doing a certain kind of pranayama. And when they were searching for Duryodhana, finally they found him there, and he said, "Oh Yudhishthira, I want to stop this war because I thought I will win this war and I will share my throne with my dear friend Karna. Now he himself has gone. I don't want to fight anymore. So I give you the kingdom. You take the entire kingdom and go away." This is what Duryodhana said. The same Duryodhana who refused to choose peace when Krishna tried to explain to him much before the war, he said, "I want peace." But Yudhishthira said, "Nothing doing. We have gotten into it. Now who are you to give me the kingdom? You come out and fight. Be a Kshatriya, a true warrior. Don't escape." And of course, Duryodhana came out, and then Bhima and Duryodhana fought. All those things are there. But what is interesting is, when Krishna tried to explain to him before the war the consequences of the war, Duryodhana was not able to understand. He didn't have that clarity, and neither did he have the surrender to Krishna. Somebody from a higher level is trying to tell me, let me try to understand that clarity. Even that clarity then he didn't have. See, in order to surrender to a higher intellect, you require a certain amount of clarity. As a great thinker, I think it was Josh Billings who said, the problem with people is not about what they do not know, but they're knowing so many things which actually they don't know. Thinking that I know. You need certain clarity, certain amount of clarity to understand that I don't know. Then only you will be able to surrender and take guidance. Duryodhana didn't have that. So a master has tremendous clarity. That word indeed, he actually reflects the clarity and clairvoyance of a master. He sees the past, he sees the present, and he sees the future all at one go. With that kind of perception, these great masters have given out these truths of life. So when we surrender and absorb that energy which they are giving, who will be benefited? We ourselves will be benefited. It is only for our good that surrender is suggested. The masters don't want any surrender or all that. They are not looking for self-glorification. It really does not matter to a master whether a person comes and surrenders to him. See, supposing Arjuna hadn't surrendered to Krishna, what does it matter to Krishna? Well, he's not going to be the loser. So, all are indeed. It's a very powerful state from which the master is giving this message. So I want you to pause there and absorb that energy. Because see, when you understand the supreme state in which the master is, that itself will raise your vibrations. A great Siddha, he once said that whenever he used to sit for sadhana, all he used to do is just close his eyes and get attuned to his master. And the moment he started thinking about his master and start feeling his vibrations, his vibrations used to increase and he used to go off into a deep meditative state. It's a very effective practice which he suggested, because a true master is vibrating at the infinite frequency. So by learning to appreciate that, by learning to acknowledge that, what happens is your vibrations also start increasing. That is why I'm pausing there and making you absorb that energy. Just imagine that scene where Lord Krishna is standing there, Arjuna is also there. Arjuna, a person who is totally confused, he is not seeing what life is in its realities. He doesn't know the karma niyatis. And here is Krishna, who has a comprehensive wisdom about life. All the karma niyatis is known to him. So he is standing there and he is giving the wisdom from that state of clarity and clairvoyance. All this is reflected by that one word, he. Indeed, he says. So when Krishna says all are indeed, there is a surety about it. It comes from that supreme state of clarity and clairvoyance. And when you acknowledge that, when you are able to recognize that using the yogic approach, automatically you will pause. Your mind will get uplifted. Your vibrations will start increasing. You will start feeling that energy flow. And when you get attuned to the energy of the Bhagavan, what happens? Tremendous healing happens within you. Healing of all your karmas. The very essence of karma yoga happens to you internally. The real essence of karma yoga, even though we are calling it as yoga of action, the real, when you go into the depth of it, karma yoga is nothing but burning of all your karmas. That starts happening to you just by getting attuned to that Supreme Lord, to the Supreme Master. So all are indeed. This wisdom is coming from that supreme state in which the Master is established in. All are indeed made to act. Karyate. So as I explained to you last week, he is changing the style here. Till now he was talking about a possibility of acting or not acting. Now he says, you are not acting, but you are made to act. Some force is there behind your actions and you are being controlled by that force. Made to act, karyate, it's a very important word here. We'll be seeing the application of that as we go along. And then he says, made to act helplessly, avashaha. As if you have no choice. you're powerless, It almost amounts to that, helplessly. And what is that force which is making you act? He says by the gunas, gunaihi, prakriti jair gunaihi. Prakriti jai means that which is born of prakriti. The gunas or qualities which are born out of prakriti. Prakriti means nature, the gross manifestation of that infinite Shakti or the infinite energy. Now, apparently, when you just read this looks like a pessimistic statement, but it's actually not. It's a very practical statement. It helps you to deal with people. It helps you to deal with yourself also. When he is talking of the helpless nature, that is when he says you are made, all are indeed made to act helplessly, when he is talking of the state of helplessness, he is talking with reference to that present moment. See, when you're given a certain amount of time, you can put an effort and change yourself. You can evolve or you can devolve also. That choice is there. But at this moment, how are you going to act? That depends upon the force behind that action, which is nothing but your own qualities. Gunas. You can learn that word, gunas. Gunas means qualities. They have broadly divided the qualities into three: the tamasic guna, the tamo guna, rajo guna, and sattva guna. Tamas, rajas and sattva. But if you want, you can further subdivide that and you will get thousands and thousands of qualities. So you have so many qualities within you. Many qualities come under the tamas, many qualities come under rajas, many qualities come under sattva. So when you understand the tamas, rajas and sattva, it becomes very easy for you to classify these gunas. That was the idea. So as we go along, we'll be seeing a lot of that also. But as of now, what you need to understand is you are having a lot of qualities within you, and it is those qualities or gunas which differentiate you from the other person. See, there are billions of people. Now, what differentiates one individual from the other? Each one is made in a different way. So what is it that differentiates one person from the other? It is nothing but gunas, qualities. You are a victim of your qualities at this moment. But if you are given a certain time period, a time frame, and if you do sadhana, you can change your qualities also. That also we will be seeing as we go along. First, he is proceeding step by step. You cannot give the whole wisdom at one go. So in the first step, you need to understand how the gunas are playing about in your life. You need to understand life in terms of action, and you need to understand actions in terms of a manifestation of the gunas. So at this moment, yes, are you helpless? Yes, because the gunas are going to manifest. But are you helpless with respect to your whole life? No, because you actually have the power to change your gunas. That's why he says gunas are coming from Prakriti. That is where the secret is there. And a yogi through sadhana gets attuned to the higher Shakti. And when he gets attuned to the higher Shakti, he gets the capacity to change the gunas. Actions are controlled by the gunas, The gunas are controlled by Prakriti, and Prakriti, the nature, is a manifestation of the higher Shakti, the higher energy. A yogi through sadhana gets attuned to the higher energy. So down the line, everything comes under his control. But that is provided you take a certain time period. But at any moment, individual moment, a person has to act, or a person automatically acts according to his or her gunas. So this is not a pessimistic verse. Actually, there are so many hidden pointers, and when you understand all those hidden messages, you see actually the principle which he is giving is a principle of how to change. If you look only at this moment, it looks as if it is that there is no power. It looks as if you are powerless. But by saying that the gunas are born out of nature, Prakriti, he is giving you a lead as to how you can control your actions. So if you want to change your actions, you need to work on the qualities. By merely changing the external actions, nothing is going to work. And if you want to change your qualities, you need to get attuned to the Prakriti, nature, the force. And if you want to get attuned to the force of nature, you need to get attuned to the higher Shakti. Because from Shakti only Prakriti grossifies. That is the hidden message. It's only through the yogic approach we can get that. Otherwise, if you just read it, everyone is indeed made to act helplessly by the gunas, born of nature. Now, so why do you need to even study? Why do you need to study the Bhagavad Gita then? You can very well say, this is not my nature. Anyway, I am helpless. Everyone is made to act helplessly. Then why do any sadhana? Why should Arjuna now listen to what Krishna is saying if no change is possible? So that is not the message. As I told you, he is going step by step. So at the first step, you need to understand this message. One is the direct message which is there, and the other is the lot of hidden messages. That is what adds power to the statement. So why is he saying that? When you understand, I am indeed, everyone is indeed made to act helplessly by the qualities born of nature, how is that useful in your sadhana? This is something which you need to think about. So in life, you're all the time dealing with others, with some people, or if you're not dealing with others, you're dealing with yourself. Now, what happens is, every action which another person does actually affects you. When the person acts in a positive way, it affects you in a positive way. But when the person acts in a negative way, that affects you in a negative way. So how do you safeguard yourself and not be affected by the negative action of others? It is by applying this law. Everyone is made to act helplessly at this moment. See, there you need to just, in the brackets, you need to put it as at this moment, by the qualities born of nature. So if the person is acting in a negative way, why is that? Because he is having that negative quality which has come from nature. Since he is having that negative quality, he is helplessly acting in that particular way, in a negative way. The moment you understand that, now instead of reacting in a negative way, Now you will start pitying that person. Rather than pity, we should use the word compassion. You develop a lot of compassion. That person is a victim of his own negative qualities at that moment. So what else can you expect? See, supposing a person has a lot of rajas in him. Now he will react very impulsively. He may be short-tempered and he will get very angry. Now where is that action of anger coming from? From where is it manifesting? It is coming from the guna, the rajas, the energy of anger, krodha, as we say in the Sanskritam language, So since he is loaded with the rajas quality, it is manifesting in this way. He is a helpless victim. The moment you understand that, all your stress will go away. Not only will your stress go away, now you will get the clarity as to how to deal with that person. It is not just a passive acceptance and you say, okay, that person has that guna, now so therefore you allow that person to harm you. It is not that. The idea of absorbing and applying this wisdom is to calm your mind, to remove the stress from your mind and gain the clarity to act better. When you see a negative action of a person and when your mind gets affected by that, now it gets into a state of stress or agitations. And whenever your mind is agitated, your clarity will reduce, your intellectual clarity will reduce. Your capacity to act properly will come down. So in order to maximize your efficiency in action, your productivity in action, it is very important for you to have a calm mind. And if you want to have a calm mind, the first thing is you should not be affected by others' actions. Mental affectation we are talking about. As long as you are getting affected by others' actions, you can never be peaceful. But the moment you understand this niyati, this law of pertaining to karma, that everyone at that moment, that is a qualification, at that moment is made to act helplessly according to his or her gunas, his or her qualities. The moment you embrace this law, now all your agitations cease. Because now you see the same person not as a negative person, but as a person who is a victim to his or her own gunas. You get a tremendous compassion. This is what Buddha was trying to say. He said, be compassionate towards everyone, develop compassion. Now, how can you develop compassion when you're seeing so much of negativity around? By a simple understanding of this karma niyati. So, this is a very, very important sadhana principle which is being given to you. You take it as a homework. Today, after the session, when you find some time, and it's not only today, this is a sadhana practice for your entire life, and that is, you find out where you're getting agitated because of others' behavior. It may be people who are close to you. What is interesting is it may be people whom you don't know also. You're just reading something in the newspaper, someone behaved something in some country which is that you've never visited that country also. Somebody did something that, now immediately your mind gets affected. Very interesting. It's not that you need to be close to that person. So you tend to get affected by the negative actions of others. Now how do we solve this? This is the way. And then of course, to people who are close to you. So learn to see the gunas or qualities in others. This is the sadhana. Supposing you are agitated about someone. Okay, what kind of guna does he have? What kind of qualities does he have, he or she? Now, depending upon that, you will find the corresponding actions coming out from him or her. So, the moment you start seeing it this way, now you will develop what we call as objectivity. You're able to stand apart and witness and watch what is happening. This will instantly calm your mind. The next question would be, now how should I deal with that person? Supposing the person is very close to you and you need to interact with him or her on a daily basis. Of course, you need to deal with the situation. But now you will deal with the quality. You will not merely deal with the actions. All that clarity, you will get all that clarity the moment your mind becomes calm. This is the first step. So we'll stop with that application, and you do this practice this week and you come back next week. We will also see the application of this karma niyati to yourself. One is, I told you, either you will have to deal with others or you will have to deal with yourself. There also this niyati can be applied, and it gives a very, very powerful positive effect. So that part we will see next week. Before going into the meditation, I will take up a question. Actually, this is not exactly a question. I just wanted to give a few principles based on a sadhak who has put his points in the YouTube section. Subramanian ji has captured and I think it was last week or week before that, he has put all his points. Now there was something which he had mentioned, and I thought I should bring it to his notice and also the notice of all the other sadhaks, the principle of sadhana. So I'm not getting into the points which he has given. Hari Om Yogishri, thanks much for this week's wonderful discourse and all that is, and then the points are there. In between what he has written is, I was not able to watch this week's discourse until Saturday since my kid was not well during last weekend and I had to shift it on another day. However, I had somehow unconsciously done the sadhana of closing the eyes and in a way experiencing everything around towards the end of everyday sadhana this week. I really don't know how it happened, even though I'm listening to the sadhana tip only on Saturday. Even though I did not intend, it happened actually. And then he has gone on to give out all the points. Now there are two facets to what he has explained, very interesting. What he's saying is he missed the Sunday's thing and he heard it only on Saturday, which is 6 days later. But the sadhana tip which was given, he practiced it unconsciously. Why he practiced, what happened exactly, he doesn't know. So he first practiced that, and then when he heard it on Saturday, he has written that I was very thrilled. Now this is the experience of many sadhaks. When you truly surrender to the higher Shakti, the Guru Shakti will automatically keep working in the background and it will try to help you in every way possible. So sometimes due to some genuine reason, if you miss out on something, the Guru Shakti will ensure that you don't miss out. A similar experience was given by one lady who had sent a message during the empowerment program. She said when during the empowerment meditation, suddenly there was a power cut or the internet went away and the whole thing stopped externally. But she continued to keep her eyes closed and the energy started becoming more and more powerful. She went into such a deep state. For the entire, about for half an hour or so. For first half an hour she had done the meditation, and then the meditation became very powerful even though the actual instructions were not there. She felt more connected to the higher and the Shakti was flowing tremendously. So many wonderful experiences. And so after that she had put that message, do I need to again do the empowerment meditation, that portion? Have I missed something? So the message was given to her, no, the empowerment has already been given. Even though, see, these are all only external methods. But the real wisdom is not in the words, it is in the energy. So even though the words may have stopped, the energy flow was continuing and the empowerment happened. This is an experience of many sadhaks. So all these kinds of experiences will help you to become more strong, to develop a tremendous faith in the higher. You're not alone in this path. The supreme power is always there to guide you. The Guru Shakti, the force of all the holy siddhas and yogis, that force is always there, that energy to help you. You get tremendous confidence. So that is one thing. Another important thing is, you have mentioned that you had to postpone the sadhana of listening to the discourse because your kid was unwell. Now this is something which I want to tell all the sadhaks. When something is going wrong in life, it could be that someone dear to you is unwell or some other issue and all that, ensure that you do your sadhana on time, because it is only during that period you require the energy from the sadhana more. See, what generally people do is when they face some issues or something, they immediately stop the sadhana because they feel that, I'm not able to do my sadhana properly because I'm so disturbed, this is happening, that is happening. It is only at that time you require to be very consistent in your efforts. It happened with one sadhak. His wife had met with an accident and she was admitted in the hospital. She was in the ICU and he was sitting outside. His mind was so disturbed. That was in the morning. And what did he do? He played the Yoga Sankirtani and he started listening to that. He said that gave him so much of strength to face the situation. But the mind gently slips and says, because of this I'm not able to do sadhana. So don't give any reasons for you to skip your sadhana. It is very good that you didn't skip it, you postponed it. But even that postponing you should avoid. Because when someone is in trouble, especially someone near and dear to you, you require to be in full strength to be able to help that person. And sadhana is the only way by which you can get that strength. Your personal sadhana and these Sunday sessions. So keep that in mind. This is a message to all the sadhaks. Be very, very consistent with your sadhana with these Sunday sessions. Don't keep postponing them. And when you face some difficulty in life, it may be even the death of someone, even during those days, don't skip your sadhana. Because it is at that time only you require this energy more, you require more healing. Remember that. The higher Shakti is always there to help you. The Guru Shakti is always trying to help you. But you should put in your efforts and be consistent. And when you do that, you will find that the problem also can be easily handled because your mind gets so much of power. Okay? So this is the message which I wanted to give based on the experience which he has written. So now we'll do the Nididyasana. Gently close your eyes. Breathe in a deep way. With every breath, I'm getting into a state of deep relaxation. Feel the divine higher vibrations. With every breath, I'm going deeper and deeper into myself. I am not this physical body. I am not these various pranas. I am not these emotions and thoughts. I am that supreme, infinite self. From this moment onwards, I choose to embrace and conform to the realities of life, karma niyati. Everyone is acting helplessly according to his or her gunas, qualities. I feel a deep sense of karuna, compassion towards all my fellow beings. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So today we had a very deep session. Life itself is very deep, provided we have the depth in our perception. This wisdom gives you that depth. The very way in which you look at life will change for the better. So think about these points which were given today, reflect, and make them your own. See how you can practice them. Okay. So with regards to the Yoga Sankirtan in April, as I told you, on 16th of April, we are going to have the grand release of Mahaganapati Dhyana. Why I'm calling it the grand release is because the energy of Lord Ganesha is the energy of success and abundance. Wherever that energy is invoked, the very vibrations become so grand. Your entire life will become very grand, So that is going to be a general healing session meant for anyone to come and benefit from that. And then the Yoga Sankirtan Empowerment Program is going to be from 24th of April. So that will be for 6 days. Now, during the release, the healing will be given. The sadhana, we will be doing the sadhana, special meditation. It is in the empowerment course that the empowerment for the Mahaganapati Dhyana also which will be given. So you're all very fortunate that this thing is happening in a sequence like this. First your getting the healing which will prepare you tremendously. And then after that, the complete Yoga Sankirtan empowerment course is also going to happen for 6 days. So it will be a powerful blast of energy. It's all up to you to make use of it. If you have any questions related to the empowerment program, you can always ask. I'll clarify all your doubts. Okay? So thank you very much. Hari Om.